Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Co-Star, the official newspaper of the Borough of Belmar, and the Asbury Park Press on December 2nd, 2020, and notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building.
Thank you, April. If everybody can join me in saluting the flag of our great nation. Everybody can just remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops, their families, all our first responders. And since our last meeting, Connie Delaportis, a lifelong resident of Belmar, had passed away. Thank you. You must stay standing because we're going now. Okay. The first thing on our agenda is we're making a few presentations tonight. We have 4 borough employees that saved the life of another borough employee. So we want to bring them up tonight and give them proclamations for the amazing work that they did on saving a life. So if George Comataz, Brian Heaney, hold on a minute. Who else do we have here? We have Special Officer Heaney, Rob DeMartin, and Abigail Goulet. They would come up with us, and if the council could join me off to the dais. We had one of our employees down the boardwalk. He had a medical emergency. There was a 911 call. George happened to get the call. He was first on the scene. There was no pulse. There was no breathing. And George started CPR. When Special Officer Heaney got there, he began helping George, and then our emergency medical team showed up, Rob DeMartin and Abigail. And they were able to save a life. And it was amazing work for all 4 of them. So we wanted to present them with proclamations tonight. So the first one we have is for George. George. This is a resolution honoring George Comataz. Whereas on August 16, 2021 at 9:20 a.m., a 911 call was made for a male who was suffering a medical episode on the Belmar boardwalk. And whereas this person turned out to be a Belmar relief gate attendant. And whereas the Department of Public Works, George Comataz, was the first to arrive on scene and immediately began CPR. Whereas George continued CPR until Belmar police officers and Belmar Emergency Medical Services arrived. Whereas because of his action and the actions of the members of the Belmar Police Department and our Belmar Emergency Medical Services, this employee regained pulse and was transported to Jersey Shore Medical Center alive. And whereas it was determined by the employee that suffered the heart attack, but survived due to George's life-saving efforts, and whereas this is not the first time George has saved a life in Belmar. So, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and the council and all the residents of the borough of Belmar that George Comataz be recognized in honor for his heroic efforts in saving a life of a fellow borough employee. George, thank you for everything you do. And for our others. This is a resolution honoring the Belmar the Belmar Emergency Medical Services and the Police Department for their extraordinary performance in the rescue on August 16, 2021. Whereas on August 16, 2021 at 9:20 a.m., a 911 call was made for a male who was suffering a medical episode on the Belmar Boardwalk. And whereas this person turned out to be the Belmar Relief Gate attendant, and whereas Special Officer Brian Heine Jr. of the Belmar Police Department arrived on scene and began assisting DPW employee George Comataz with CPR and using the defibrillator until Belmar Medical Emergency Services arrived. Whereas Robert Delmartin and Abigail Gillette, I hope I got that right, of the Belmar Emergency Medical Services arrived on scene, took over life-saving protocols, and whereas due to the prompt response by George Comataz, Special Officer Heine, Rob Delmartin, and Abigail Gillette, the employee was transported to the Jersey Shore Medical Center in alive and in stable condition. Now therefore be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Belmar, hereby recognize and honor Special Officer Brian Heaney, Jr., the Belmar Emergency Medical Services members Rob Delmartin, Abigail Goulet for their efforts in saving the life of a borough employee. And thank you for your services and your training and know-how to do what you do. Thank you. All right, we have 2 of the 3. You guys want to take Abigail? Yeah, I'll take Abigail.
Mr. Novice is here.
Oh.
Mr. Novice is here.
Oh, and the person that they saved, it happens to be in our audience. If you could stand up and maybe come up and take a picture with us. You guys all want to get in the picture? How you feeling? Good. Oh, that's good. Glad to have you here. Right here first. All right. Good job. Really good job. Good job.
I appreciate it.
I hope I didn't mess up your name too bad.
No, it's okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great work. Thank you. If anybody was here for the presentation that wants to leave, they can, or they can stay for our meeting, that's fine. But all right, workshop discussions. I don't think I have anything. I think we have on for the next meeting. We're going to do a little bit with a demolition ordinance that Patrick has put together. And it was requested by some of our code enforcement and building construction officials that some of this demolition have to be wet down while they're taking buildings down. But I think that's coming. That'll be on for first reading for the next meeting. But I think that's all I really have. As far as resolutions, we have anything that we need to talk about. I don't really think so. Anybody got questions on any resolutions? Okay. All right, so that's all I got. We'll move on to petitions. April, we have any?
No, we do not.
Okay. Approval of minutes, August 17th.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the August 17th meeting?
A motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan?
I wasn't here, April, so
Abstain.
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 Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Abstain.
Okay, reports of council. Councilman Carvelli?
Thank you, Mayor. Been pretty quiet for me. Finance Committee and Planning Board were canceled this past month. Planning Board is 2 Mondays from now, so may have a report for next council meeting. I did want to thank everyone for the fireworks in Belmar 5 this weekend. Both events were great. The Belmar 5, I think, on Labor Day weekend is a great idea, having run it. Yeah, both events went off without a hitch, apparently, so thank you to everybody who helped put those on. That's all I have, so thank you.
Thank you. Councilman McCracken?
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome back, Council President Juan.
Thank you.
You're looking great, moving around well. I just came from the Belmar Housing Authority meeting. A new washer has been installed. All the residents were extremely happy about that. The booster shots are being scheduled with the VNA in-house for the residents who live there for COVID-19. So that's fantastic that that's happening. Moving forward after today's meeting, just because of the vulnerability of the residents who live there, even though there is a high vaccination rate amongst them, the management is going to require that masks be worn in common areas of the building moving forward for safety purposes. We also approved the first reading of the budget this evening. Last year, the authority ended up in positive territory, which was very good. That money will go into reserves. But some alarming things that the accountant there who prepared the budget has to take into account. And he factored a 4% inflation increase into this year's budget, which is pretty significant, and an 8 to 10% increase in insurance costs because of Ida and other events that have affected our area. So the budget is still going to project a surplus in 2022, but those were two larger increases that we're taking accounting for just because they are what they are. So, but the housing authority's in a good financial position. The residents there are happy. Another thing we're going to do is go out to bid for a second bid on buildings and grounds. So right now there is a company that mows the lawn, and we're going to expand that bid to include edging, mulching, weeding, and maintaining the shrubs and whatnot to add to the curb appeal of that building. The parking lot's been paved and striped and looks great. So with those additional improvements, we believe, to the exterior building, that'll really look nice. So,
All right, very good.
meeting went well. The Shade Tree Commission took a break in August and will be meeting at their regularly scheduled time the third Wednesday of this month. So nothing to report there until the first meeting in October.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Brennan?
Mayor, none of my commissions had any meetings, so I really don't have anything to report. I just wanted to thank the people at the Belmar Public Library. They hosted me and my friends to play music third week in August. We had a nice turnout. It was really nice. The hot dogs were a big hit with the band, I can tell you that, Bruce. They were a big hit. And it was just a lovely evening, and I wanted to just say thank you for having us. That's my report.
Thank you. Council President Juan?
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to be back. I'd just like to thank everybody, excuse me, for the cards and text messages and phone calls. It was appreciated. It's been a long summer for me, but I'm back.
Okay.
I don't have any reports, as I've been laid up for a while, but by the next meeting, I'm sure I'll have something for us. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I'd really like to thank all of our employees. The summer's over. You know, the 5-mile run and fireworks. I got to thank DPW and the police department did a great job. And I got to thank the police department and DPW and everybody who worked on the beach this summer. You know, we had big problems trying to get employees down at the beach, but everybody that worked, they did a great job. And Tina, you can take that back to your department. That everybody did a great job this summer, especially with fireworks. And I know that we've talked and said that the summer seemed to go pretty well. I didn't have a lot of emails where there was big problems anywhere, so it seemed like it was going pretty well. But yeah, thank all your guys. Everybody did a great job. One of the things I want to talk about is we're coming up on 9/11. We have a couple events coming up, but the main event that's happening this year is Light Up the Shore, which is started by the Monmouth County Commissioners, and we're getting on board with them. They wanted us to participate lighting up the boardwalk 12 hours after the first plane hit at 8:46 at night. So I'm going to refer to our business administrator just to go over a couple things that we're doing for that night, and hopefully everybody could join us.
Thank you, Mayor. We're going to still finalize the Belmar Light Up the Shore, working with the county commissioners from Keyport all the way down to Manasquan. Like the mayor said, 12 hours after the first plane struck the World Trade Center. We're going to probably assemble down at the boardwalk going north to south. I'm going to be looking for volunteers from the Friendship Force. I'm going to call upon them. I see a couple of them in the audience. We have a donation of 500 light sticks that we want to utilize for the Light Up the Shore. We're working with the Shillelagh Club. We're going to hopefully have representation from them. But I'll be sending out for volunteers so we can pass out what we plan to do on that night. Volunteers should be there about 8 o'clock, and we'll give a signal at 8:46 p.m. to illuminate the shoreline, our entire boardwalk, for a time period of about 3 minutes. So it's a respectful memorial, never to forget what occurred, and we're taking our part. And it's all on our social media. We'll be doing a code red message shortly. With the next couple of days, and any questions, anybody can give me a shout at my office.
Yeah, just watch our social media website and for all the details. But hopefully we can get a lot of people down there and really light it up for the 20th year anniversary of that horrible attack. And then we have a presentation going on by our business administrator at 13th and E Church at 11 o'clock. He was heavily involved with law enforcement during that time, so he's going to give a presentation down there if anybody's available, 11 o'clock in the morning for the church at 13th and E. Other than that, we have the San Gennaro Festival coming up, which should be a nice event because we didn't have it last year, so big difference a year makes. It's all outside, so hopefully everybody will be safe, and we're going to have that event this year. We have the Belmar Pro Surf competition coming up, and is it Sunday for the autism event? Yes, because the autism event is going to be in conjunction with the Surf Pro this year. So Surfers Healing is coming back to Belmar, and they're going to do an event for all our autistic children. And it's good because the people, the surfers that are coming in are going to help out with the autism event. So all the surfers from the Belmar Surf Pro are going to help out, which is nice. So those events are coming up before the next meeting, and hopefully everybody can get out and enjoy all of them. And I think that's all I have.
I have a question.
Yes.
Whether to hit you with this or not.
Go ahead.
All right?
Yeah,
Ready?
go ahead.
I just had a question now that I'm back driving again. I came through the plaza. Are those restaurants still going to be allowed to stay outside? Are those barriers going to be moved? Because we have small business on Main Street that can use the parking help.
We allowed them through this summer because of what happened last summer, and we allowed them right now up to the end of September, and then because there's a lot of people that want that parking back. So we allowed them because of last year, and allowed them to try to make some extra money this year. We allowed it, but looks like we're going to close it down the end of September.
Good. Thank you.
All right, I think that's all I have, so we're going to move on to public session on any of the resolution items. All right, April, seeing none?
Have a motion to close the public session?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
Okay, next is second reading and public hearing on ordinance 2021-28. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 19 for stop intersections. This is open for public hearing if anyone would like to comment on the ordinance. Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-28.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
Okay, next is second reading and public hearing on ordinance 2021-29. This is an ordinance repealing ordinance 2021-17. It's open for public comment if anyone would like to speak on this ordinance. Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-29.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
And last is first reading and introduction in ordinance 2021-30, amending ordinance 2021-15. Do we have a motion to offer for first reading and introduction?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Public session.
Good evening. Thank you for listening. My name
Okay,
is
yeah, I'll look.
Jane Salmon. I live at 1613 Route 71. I'm here tonight to speak up for Belmar Skate Park. I know it's been closed due to the safety concerns since at least May 2021. I understand those concerns stem from the damage to the surface material or skate light covering the ramps and the fact that the equipment is over 10 years old. I have personally spoken with Bob Lucito, who is the owner of Belmar Skate Shop in town. He told me he has skate light material in stock and has offered several times to the town to repair the damaged sections for free and has been told no. He has offered to supervise the DPW as they make the necessary repairs using his donated materials. He was again told no. This would not cost Belmar anything to get this repaired and to get the equipment back to acceptable safety condition in a reasonable amount of time. I understand there are budgetary constraints, but these simple repairs would cost Belmar nothing in terms of materials. I have read over the past 2 months that the Dempsey Park basketball courts got resurfaced, and so have the McCleary Park tennis courts, and the pickleball courts are brand new. Not to mention the pirate ship playgrounds along the beach were replaced. So somehow Belmar managed to find money in the budget and time to complete those line items. Why is the skate park being neglected? The kids in the area, my son included, need this skate park. It's a creative and social outlet for him and his friends. Without it, they managed to find other areas in town to skate, which I'm sure isn't the most ideal. Can we at least seriously consider making these repairs in the immediate future so the kids have a place to skate? I understand it was recommended by Spone Ranch, the skate park builder, that you replace the entire park. While that would be ideal, it doesn't get the kids back skating in a month or so. I know they quoted a $300,000 price tag that Belmar isn't prepared to handle right now. I'm putting together a grassroots campaign to save the skate park. We currently have a Facebook group with over 200 members. We would love to work with the town to get the ball rolling. We need to partner with a nonprofit in order to begin fundraising properly. And I'm open to any ideas the town council may have so we may work together to make this a reality. All of that will take some time. In the meantime, I'd really like to have a commitment from the council to allow the urgent repairs to be made either by Bob Lucido or by the DPW. Let's make this happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, John Ennis, 418 7th Avenue. I've been in conversations with Mrs. Salmon regarding this particular issue, and it is my understanding that with her efforts, and maybe a little bit of effort on the council's part, we could get this done cheaper than it would be to demolish the whole thing. Where are these kids going to go? Back out on the streets? It's going to cause more problems with Chief Scott's wonderful crew. I think, like Mrs. Salmon said, it's worth looking into for the youth of our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon Russell Fowler, representing the library, Belmar Library. I just wanted to inform everyone, at least listening, that we have new hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have 2 late nights now, Wednesday and Thursday, Saturday only till 1. But what I really wanted to talk about tonight was to let everyone know that this Thursday we have an elder caregiver workshop that's going to be given, and that's to help. It's a series of informative presentations, and they're going to be talking about primarily Medicare. So for any of us that might be in that area or have family members that they need to get help, this is the place to go. And then another one that's coming up is going to be a disability law for families with special needs children. And that one's coming up also. So there's some wonderful workshops that are coming up, and we hope everyone will attend. Thank you.
Thank you, and you guys do a great job down there.
Claire Hayner, 221 18th Avenue. Mayor and council, all the employees, Chief Scott, DPW, thank you for a wonderful summer. It was good. It was quiet, believe it or not, and I'm on 18th and B. I don't know why it was so quiet, but it was. And we had good crowds and everything. All the crowds walking up to DJs on Saturday actually stopped and bought lemonade from my niece and nephew, 2 little kids, and they did good. And it gave a different light to some of the neighbors who are always complaining about these kids walking up to DJs and complaining at 2 o'clock in the morning, to see them interacting with the 3- and 5-year-old. And they took the time to stop. The fireworks were great. Everything was fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it, as does my sister. One more thing. On September 26th, the New Jersey Run for the Fallen will be running through Belmar again. They run every year. They didn't run last year, but 2 years ago, the fire departments came out with the hook and ladders and draped the flag down the corner of North Boulevard and Ocean Ave, and then there's another hero marker down at in front of the big flag at 5th Avenue there. So if we're able to do that again, it would truly be appreciated. It's been tough. It's the 20-year anniversary with everything going on, and it would be fantastic. So
All right, good. We're going to try to get that fire truck out there again.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank
'cause
you.
that was nice a couple of years ago. Yeah.
And New Jersey Run for the Fallen. And it'll be about 9:30-ish they'll be
About
running through.
9:30-ish.
So they say give a half hour, either way, but in and around there.
Yeah, we'll talk to Ryan, make sure we get that fire truck out there, because 2 years ago was really nice.
That was neat.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sure will. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Hi, Sherry Russo, 1218 Briarwood Road. I have two questions from my neighbor. She's 87, doesn't use the internet. One question is, how do you get handicap parking painted on the street?
If she needs a handicap spot, you just have to send a letter over to the chief, and the chief
Okay.
will assign the traffic officer to go down and investigate it.
Okay. And her second question is now that the senior center is closed, what is there for seniors to do in this area? And she doesn't drive at night because she can't see at night, so she's looking for things to do, like, I guess, during the daylight hours.
Well, hopefully, we're going to be opening up Taylor Pavilion and seeing how many seniors are now comfortable coming together to do some of the activities that used to happen down at the 7th and D Church. So we'll be talking to Mary Bravazon about that. But we're still in this pandemic, so
Sure.
some of the seniors are a little bit nervous and reluctant about getting together. But we'll see
Yeah.
which ones would like to do some events down there.
And is there still senior luncheon? I just thought of that. I don't even know if that's still going on.
It hasn't started back up
No,
yet.
okay. I
but,
feel like she's just very lonely, like she has a small dog and that's it, and she was inside the whole time, and we would visit her from outside of the porch, and the other neighbor would, but I'm sure she's going a little stir-crazy now.
Yeah, she's not
So,
alone with that.
like, she
We've
drives,
got
but
good
only in the
question. We
day.
got some questions about that, so we're looking, I'm talking to Mary Bravazon on how we could do it safely.
All right, but nothing really as of yet to tell her?
Not yet,
at
no,
this point.
no, not yet.
Okay, all right, and do I send it to your email?
Yes, that's fine. It's tscott@belmarpd.com.
Thank you. And can I send it in her behalf? I'm sure she doesn't have email or a computer or a cell phone or. Thank you.
Hi, Sharon.
I'm back again. From the library, I forgot to mention that next Thursday, the 16th, Pat Roddy is playing outside. So just wanted to let everyone know. 5:30 to 8.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, April?
Can I have a motion to close the public session and adjourn the meeting?
Motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.